And a very good evening. Is there an attempt right now to usurp a lot of land that possibly belongs to you, belongs to farmers? Because the Waqf had said that even the land on which you have the parliament that has been built belongs to them. They've said much the same for the Taj Mahal. They've said much the same for the entire area if you're living in Delhi, right from the Vasant Vihar to the airport. They say all this is the Waqf land. Those are the bizarre claims that they have made. Then there is a village in Tamil Nadu where about, 6 of these villages, including a temple that is about 1500 years old. The Waqf says that land also belongs to us. So there were notices that were given to a lot of those villagers there to vacate their land, to vacate their homes. What if tomorrow where you are staying, you have people from the Waqf who come in and tell you, you need to vacate this. And if you ask them why, they will say because this is the Waqf land. Your property, for which you have papers, for which you've been paying taxes. They can come and say that this belongs to the Waqf. If this is not Waqf terror, then what is Waqf terror? Now, in the latest, the images of which will play up on our screens in just a moment, this is a bizarre story that is also coming in right now from Karnataka. Now, this is the Vijayapura district where you have about 1500 acres of land on which the Waqf says this is our ownership. And that is why there are notices that have been sent to multiple farmers who, remember, have been toiling their entire land, who have proper documents, and they say that we've been here forever, for ages together. How is it that we can give this land, our land, to the Waqf? And how can the Waqf say that this is our land? And that is exactly why it's time, remember, for the Waqf reform. And just days before you will have the parliament looking into this big law that, remember, right now is with the JPC, where you've seen a lot of drama, lot of skirmishes, even some violence, particularly by the Trinamool. Today we want to ask what's happening in Karnataka. Is the government there complicit in this usurping of land? And can the Waqf be given these unbridled, unchecked powers? Critical questions, very, very important questions. On your screens, you're looking at images of Tejasvi Surya, because Tejasvi Surya is who was approached by a lot of these farmers. He's met them earlier today and he said nothing doing. The government stands with you and we will ensure that no one snatches away your land. Snatches away your land. That is the operative part. Can the Waqf snatch anyone's land? Before we move ahead and get you more details to this very bizarre story, I want you to take a moment to listen into the charge and the counter charge. Karnataka government, remember, is ruled by the Congress. The allegations that the BJP is leveling on the Congress is that this is all happening with the connivance, with the complicity of the local government. Is that charge true? Sit back and watch what we've heard so far on that big story before we open this up for a debate.
Today, a delegation of farmers from Vijayapura district met me and handed over voluminous documents concerning their properties, their farmlands, which now the Waqf is claiming to be its own. Over the last few months, the Waqf board in Karnataka has started claiming all of these lands to be their own. In just one village in Vijayapura Taluk, in Vijayapura district, in Kolhara Taluk, about 1,500 acres has been claimed by the Waqf board to be its own. And in all of Vijayapura district, the Waqf board today is claiming more than 15,000 acres as its own.
See, Tejasvi Surya is a lawyer. He should not be speaking like this. There is an act which governs how the property becomes a Waqf property. There is a process provided under the Waqf Act. It's a legal process. No such thing has happened. The way he is projecting. Every time there is some kind of electoral or elections, they come up with these kind of divisive statements. What is his intention? His intention is to say that the government is appeasing the minorities, the Muslims, thereby creating a division for the forthcoming by-elections. It's the sole purpose. Nothing will be backed by documents.
So you have the government there saying that nothing doing, this is with an agenda to polarize. They're saying this is absolutely trash. It's a fake story, is their claim. But is this a fake story? Now on your screens are more images and more details of this entire story. And remember, we'll also put up images of Tejaswi meeting with the farmers. And these are farmers who've come today, who've spoken to him because they are concerned. They are saying we cannot let our land go away like this. I would say good evening to Shazia Ilmi, who's a national spokesperson of the BJP. Rashmi Sawant is an activist. Sriraj Nayaji is national spokesperson of the VHP. We also have Asif Ansari, who's a political analyst. Syed Asad Abbas is a political analyst. He's completing our panel. Syed, let's begin by asking you, do you believe this is a fake story? Fake news?
I absolutely do not think so. It's a fake story or a fake news. Neither do I think it's trash. I think it's important enough to debate on the national television.
That's it? That's all that you will say? Are you concerned? Are you appalled? Can you believe something like this is going on in Karnataka?
Well, I certainly do know. If you ask me the question, I shall answer it. I asked you your first question, and now I shall answer your second one. Coming to this, I think let us go by what is officially on record. Ms. Tabassum, who's the Vijayapura Waqf district in charge, who's the representative from there, has stated, and I'd like to quote her. She says the land was marked as Waqf property by the state government. However, a few notices were mistakenly sent to farmers. If they have valid land records, the Waqf board will not take any action against them. Not just that, MB Patil, who's also minister here in the state government, has said that he will meet the deputy commissioner next week to resolve the same issue. And if the farmers have valid ownership records predating this, their lands will not be affected. This is only affecting those who have encroached upon the land of the Waqf properties, not all the farmers.
Now, you say this is a mistake. You know, you've putting a lot of caveats there.
Not me. The
you said mistakenly notices were sent in. But I do not know, you know, for the better sense of me, you know, Syed, before I get in Shazia into this conversation, the same Waqf have also said that the parliament is built on Waqf land.
No.
Parliamentarians should pay them rent.
Can I answer?
Taj Mahal is built on the Waqf land, Waqf property.
No.
They said the entire area from Delhi's Vasant Vihar to the airport is the Waqf's land. Maybe the entire national capital, they might say tomorrow is, you know, their land. Maybe they can say your flat, your home, wherever you're staying, Abbas. Even that belongs to the Waqf. Is there no end to this
I will answer that.
You know, bizarre hypocrisy that we are seeing by the Waqf? And why is the Congress quiet?
I will answer that. As a matter of fact, Deepti ji, that's a very fair question that you've asked, that there have been certain people like Badruddin Ajmal, who's made a statement that Taj Mahal and Parliament and so on and so forth belongs. It is his statement that cannot be attributed as the voice of Indian Muslims. So therefore, that should be seen Badruddin Ajmal's statement. That is certainly not the statement made by all the opposition parties. So let's keep merits of the case here and let's debate accordingly. Coming to my state, beautiful state of Karnataka, I've stated and quoted both the same. The Vijayapura district Waqf board representative of Ms. Tabassum and also the MB Patil minister in charge. Personally, if you ask me, none of the farmers, absolutely none of the farmers who legitimately have the land documents, properties must go through any panic. As a matter of fact, any of those who have encroached, of course, they will go through the tribunal. But the rest absolutely need not worry.
I don't know what to say to this, Shazia, but, you know, Syed is making this sound like pretty normal. And he's saying that this is only for those people who've encroached on the Waqf land. But who decides what is Waqf land? You know, if I'm not wrong, and if my memory serves me right, Syed, you would also agree, and Asif, Sriraj and Rashmi, you would also agree somewhere that it was in 2013, the charge is that unbridled powers are given to the Waqf board. Something that is not even challenged in the court. Shazia, what happens next?
That is correct. And unbridled powers have indeed been given to the Waqf board. In fact, the tribunal's verdict always remains the ultimate place you can go to, and it cannot be questioned. Once a Waqf, always a Waqf. And I'm about to tell you that if people who talk about Waqf and Awqaf, which is about justice, must know this, that it is not even valid in many Muslim countries which actually practice Sharia. So let's just drop this hypocrisy and sanctimony of it being an Islamic thing and affecting Muslims, because it is not. Two, I would like to say, as somebody who believes in the rule of law and Samvidhan, which seems to be the word, the go-to word, that it doesn't matter whether you're a Hindu or a Muslim, but you have to follow the rule of law. So I'm with the right and the correct. So if now I hear Mr. Syed say that the farmers have to prove and the onus is on them to supply records and the patta details of the properties, I would say the onus is on Waqf board also to show records as to how they have come in ownership of this. It is, I mean, it is all too ludicrous to assume that one side is right and the other side is wrong.
Shazia, you make a good point. Shazia, you make really a good point. And you know, the other day when we were debating this, I want to get at Asif quickly first here. So Asif, when the Waqf is asked for, you know, papers, for proof, for documents, they say, "Hamare paas koi kagaz nahi hai." But the farmers who have the kagas, who have the papers today are struggling because they are like, we do not know what will happen next, Asif. Will you speak for them or against them and for the Waqf? Because we've seen a lot of drama by the TMC in particular. You know, a lot of violence, something that is unprecedented at the JPC. Let's not forget. So the TMC has also made its line very clear. You're against the amendments in the Waqf bill now. Asif, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay. I'll just get you back, Deepti. Let's start what was the bone of contention of the Waqf Amendment Bill. There's a bill which was valid for the Act 1995, which has given the equal right of the equal endowment Hindu Act, what they are being given to the Hindu Act, and the same thing is being given to Waqf property. So when the things are oppositions are shouting for the hue and cry, the moment when you are snatching the right from the minority land, which has the sole proprietorship of the minority, because the Waqf belongs to the Muslim-owned property, neither it is a government property nor anyone else's property. When you are not putting anybody in the Hindu Enrollment Act, then why you are putting a non-Muslim into a Muslim affair? Where all
Asif, for the moment, I'm not
But
going into the nitty-gritties of the amendments that are being made in the bill, but tell me about this case. Can tomorrow someone just come and, you know, claim that perhaps, you know, the land where our office is, the land where your home is, or anyone else's home is a Waqf property? And they won't have to show anything, they won't have to prove anything?
Definitely not. Definitely not. It's a very biased thing, and it cannot.
So why
be
is the Congress
thing.
government in Karnataka doing this?
No, that is the basic politicizing the issue. It is
Who's
not about
politicizing?
that the
You think the Congress is doing this for appeasement?
Both the party, as Mr. Tejasvi Sinha, who has been the RSS youth wings, and now he is a parliamentarian. What his update, his narrative was directly allegation to the Congress that Congress has given the unbridled powers to the Waqf board.
But is that not true? You're saying that is also fake news?
Then it is an appeasement to the Hindus. Political, they are
No, Asif,
polarizing
are
the
you
Hindu.
saying who made those amendments? Who made those amendments in 2013?
No, these are not the amendments. If there is any reformation is required, if you think that things hold on, why this bill is not taught today? Why these professions are coming today? Why these all litigations are coming? Because the
they've been served notices. I'll tell you something interesting. And you know, Rashmi, there is this minister and a congressman by the name of Zamir Ahmad Khan, who's been also holding Waqf Adalats. And he was someone, you know, only for your information, Asif and Syed, who started this entire exercise, ki pehchan kariye, which is our land. That land needs to come back to the Waqf. So Rashmi, do you see a larger pattern here, or you believe that, you know, the entire charge that the Congress is leveling is only because there is a bipole, so appeasement is kosher, it's good enough?
Well, see, of this kind of power under Congress government, it happened.
Rashmi, I just have a very bad audio with you. I'm just going to get this better so we can hear you. Srirajji, you want to respond to what's going on, sir, and what's your take on this?
Well, the Congress party has done more harm to Hindus than Muslims and what we have done together. Now it is high time Waqf board has to be scrapped. This is absolutely Islam came into 100 years back. In this Waqf board temples which are 2,000 crores. Now, yesterday I got the news in Kerala. 600 families are going to be displaced. The Waqf board has claimed that
Sriraji, apologies. I am, sir, apologies. You know, bad audio line with you two this evening. I'm just requesting our team to fix both Rashmi and Sriraj so we can hear you better and you can participate in this conversation. But Syed, let's begin by asking you, Waqf Adalats are kosher. In the Waqf Adalat, anything can be decided. This land belongs to the Waqf. That long, belongs to the Waqf. So what if we don't have the papers? And the Congress government in Karnataka can be quiet. If you're quiet, also it proves your complicity, isn't that?
I will answer that. Deepti ji, we need to understand one thing very importantly here, and that is that how Shazia Ilmi ji made a very sweeping statement there that tribunal, Waqf board needs to show its papers. Ma'am, if you've ever been a part of tribunal or witnessed yourself, when you're in a Waqf tribunal, ma'am, both the sides are heard, both the sides are taken. From the Waqf side, the papers are seen, also the individual case side. It is not just tribunal is there, so therefore it will be Waqf side. Here in the Karnataka State Board of Waqf, there have been many cases, Deepti ji, which has gone in the individual's case and not gone for the Waqf board's case. So we need to understand it is not as unbridled and non-judicial as Shazia ji is claiming. That is absolutely wrong.
But Syed, why is this happening in Karnataka is something that should worry all of us. If this is happening, this happened in Tamil Nadu. There was a similar case in Tamil Nadu. This has now been reported in Karnataka. Rashmi, I hope we can hear you better. You can now make your point, please.
If I quickly make comment.
Yes.
The problem is that this has happened twice in Karnataka. It's happened in 1995. It's happened in 2013. And the nature of this tribunal, you need to know that the tribunal is conducted by the Waqf. It is not a democratic process where there's a court out there where everybody has equal access. It is conducted by Waqf officials. It is conducted by an entire Waqf machinery. And there are cases in the past wherein they unilaterally first presented by farmers, by people on the other side as invalid. And it was one-way unilateral decision. And there is no way to challenge that. In 1995 and in 2013, the Congress government gave sweeping powers to the Waqf board to illegally encroach upon land like this. It happened in the past. What happens in the Waqf tribunal is all behind closed doors. It's a very undemocratic process. And, in Karnataka, we have different kinds of land. We have Kumsi land, land post-declaration, post the law that Indira Gandhi brought in. So a lot of the paperwork with the farmer is also something that the Waqf board can easily, challenge and, throw them out of. The only proof they have is that it's been their ancestral land for so long.
Okay.
But again, I think here's the point which Shazia raised. The onus is not on the Waqf. The Waqf don't have to prove anything except questioning and, dragging people into their own tribunal, where all of the officials are Waqf members. So it is a very, very undemocratic process, and it's happened back in 1995. It's happened in 2013. And I mean, sir, we're talking about Congress, Deepti, a party which let go of rioters who attacked the police station.
And Syed, I think what Rashmi says are important points. People today in the country are concerned because today it's these farmers in Karnataka. Tomorrow it can be anyone. Sriraj, what should we be doing as a country? Because you cannot let this go on and on and on.
Yes, absolutely. The Waqf board has to be scrapped with immediate effect. It is high time. This has become a nuisance. Tomorrow they will claim your Times Now studio. Yesterday, 615 families were supposed to be displaced because the entire village belonged to the Christian community near Cochin. The Waqf board is claiming, and these two poor people who are residing there for centuries together are supposed to provide their proofs. And tomorrow, these people can claim anything. It is right that the Islamic invaders came here, ruled, misruled barbarically. They left the leftover people, the Muslims here in India, they are converts. They have nothing to do with the barbaric invaders. They should respect their ancestors. The land, this is Hindu land. The land belongs to South Christian. So
Okay.
this Waqf board has to be scrapped with immediate effect. That is what we demand, because they are claiming Mr. Mukesh is president.
Okay.
So many villages in near Bihar, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. What is this? This is becoming a joke. Immediately, this Waqf board should be scrapped. All the properties of the Waqf board needs to be nationalized with immediate effect.
All right, Syed, I just have the last 10 seconds to give to you. Will you support these reforms? You know, if you believe that these are not sweeping powers, let's remove
I will
them.
answer.
Let's remove them.
Deepti, yes. Deepti, I'm very glad that you asked me this question. Me being an Indian progressive Muslim, there is one part of the amendment which is there which I completely support. Having women representation in the Waqf board, absolutely yes, that must be a thumbs up. As a matter of fact, Karnataka State Board of Waqf already has a women representation. Coming second point, the sweeping statements made by Shazia Ilmiji, Rashmi Saaman are misinforming. That is fake news. Respected ma'am, I invite you to Karnataka State Board of Waqf when there is a case hearing or a tribunal. Many a times the Waqf board has lost the case against individual parties. So it's absolutely wrong to say that certain judicial powers of the Waqf board have been fair and
But in
forthright.
spite of this, you know, Syed, the Waqf terror continues. For how long can this Waqf terror continue is the point.
What
Only for
Waqf
what of
terror,
time.
ma'am?
Only for what of time. Shazia, Rashmi and all gentlemen, thank you so much. But we'll continue to track what happens next. Will the government there in Karnataka speak up? Will they pull back this entire order? What will happen? We'll track that story heading into a quick break.